Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you all for being here. My name is Rod Hart. I'm the Dean of the Moody College of Communication, and it's a pleasure to welcome you. Today we're marking the coming together of 5 powerful forces: life's challenges, the will to triumph, the essence of a great university, the imagination of a remarkable young faculty member, and the kindness of 2 wonderfully generous people. But first, a joke from my first week in graduate school, back in the late 1960s. Sam was 5 years old and had never uttered a word. Needless to say, his parents were beside themselves, and he took Sam to all of the best speech scientists and clinicians in the country. For years and years, they had no luck. No apparent physiological or psychological or social issues, but also Sam never said a word. Then one day at breakfast, Sam suddenly declared, "This oatmeal is goddamn lumpy." Totally clear, totally fluent, beautifully succinct. His parents were beside themselves with excitement, and of course, why? Why haven't you said anything? And Sam replied, "Until now, everything was okay." This joke was told to me my first week of graduate school by a brilliant teacher, remarkable scholar, and a lifelong stutterer. Now, we professors have a tendency to kill a joke by overanalyzing it. But this particular joke reminds us of several things. One, that biology has its implications. We don't deal the cards to ourselves at birth. They come to us aces down. But we human beings have our own resources. We get to play the cards. And our resources are magnified 1,000-fold by those who help us play the cards. It's communication, not cleverness alone, not word-making alone, not pretty pictures alone, not Facebook alone, and not fluencies alone that define what's possible in life. It's reciprocal human contact that binds a family and a neighborhood and a nation together. Communication, the thing that reminds us each day that we don't have to be alone. Sam finally had something to say, and so he said it, and his parents were there to listen. It was one of those everyday human miracles. So I welcome you today to a haven for all such miracles, the Moody College of Communication. This college's purpose is simple but also complex: to explore how communication works and to make it work better. We don't study things, we study processes, the startings and stoppings, the ups and the downs, the now and the then, the good and the getting better. At UT, we don't think of students as to where they are, but what they might become, with just a little bit of help. This college's key premises is this: nobody is given at birth all the communication tools they need to succeed. That's what moms and dads are for, what teachers are for, what our peers are for, and yes, what clinicians are for. The Speech and Hearing Clinic across the street greatly respects human physiology, but it also thumbs its nose at it. The clinic's implicit motto is this: biology is not determinacy, people are. And that's also true for the entire College of Communication. We find that students have the occasional tendency to make bad speeches, write dumb editorials, author terrible films, make the wrong diagnosis, and create irritating advertisements. The faculty members in this college work each day to offset these crimes against humanity. Our college is composed of 5 departments: advertising and public relations, journalism, communication studies, radio, TV, film, and communication sciences and disorders. We also have KUT and KLRU among us, and Texas Student Media. We have 4,000 undergraduate majors, 500 graduate students, master's and PhD. I'm proud to say we have the highest 4-year graduation rate on campus. Over 25 of our graduates have won Pulitzer Prizes, 40 have received Emmys, and 2 or 3 even have received the Oscar. Our graduates are in the CEO suites of many major media corporations in the United States. They teach at some of the finest colleges and universities. Our graduates go to New York, Chicago, DC, and LA, and all over Texas to practice what they've learned here. Our graduates include Lady Byrd Johnson, Walter Cronkite, Bill Moyers, Earl Campbell, Matthew McConaughey, and Admiral Bill McCraven, new chancellor of the UT system. But today we're here to celebrate a portion of this college, the Department of Communication Science and Disorders, and really a portion of that portion, the Michael and Tami Lang Stuttering Institute. We can learn, in some ways, the most about stuttering from those who stutter. Kurt Masur, famous German conductor, said, "Even my family laughed at me because they thought, here's this young guy who's always stuttering in front of other people, but there he is, in front of 100 musicians, leading them." John Stossel, ABC Fox News on-air personality. "The one thing I've learned is that stuttering in public is never as bad as I fear it will be." James Earl Jones, one of our nation's most distinguished actors. "Stuttering is painful. In Sunday school, I try to read my lessons and the children behind me were falling on the floor with laughter." Jean Rostand, famous French biologist. "Someone told me I should put a pebble in my mouth to cure my stuttering. Well, I tried it. During a speech, I swallowed the pebble." That was the end of that. Mel Tillis, country music singer. "Singing is one thing, but if you put a script in front of me to read or a cue card, I couldn't do it without stuttering." Bob Newhart, comedian. "Stammering is different than stuttering. Stutterers have trouble with the letters, while stammerers trip over entire parts of a sentence. Nevertheless, we stammerers think of ourselves as very bright." Now, my understanding is that stuttering is one of the most complex parts of the human condition. Depending upon which expert you talk to, it touches on genetics, neurophysiology, psychology, cognitive processing, self-perception, auditory deficiencies, brain chemistry, gender differences, social relations, and much, much else. This is complex stuff, which is why we're here today to listen to the real experts. But before doing so, I want to introduce an extraordinary man and a dear friend, President Bill Powers. You already know the most important thing you need to know about Bill Powers. He's here with us today. He's the president of this entire university. He could be at 1,000 other places at this moment, but he's here with us. He's here with us because he buys the whole deal. He buys the philosophy department and the engineering school and the football team and the marching band and Lady Byrd's Wildflower Center and the Michael and Tami Lang Stuttering Institute. He could be coasting right now because he'll be leaving the presidency at the end of this academic year, because he just finished leading the university through a $3.1 billion capital campaign, because he's defended this university tirelessly against those who would turn it into something it should not be. He could be coasting because he's already helped our colleges in so many ways during the past 8 years. He helped with the construction of this building, the Below Center for New Media. He helped with the refurbishing of the Jesse Jones complex across the street. He helped secure the wonderful gift from the Moody Foundation that named this college. He helped us incorporate Texas student media back into our college. So President Powers has already served his time, and here he is once again today with us. He's here because we asked him. He's here because he buys the whole enchilada. He's here because he's the best president of any public university in the United States. He's here because he's a kind and good man. I present to you President Bill Powers.
Well, thank you all, and Rod, thank you for that very, very kind and warm introduction. And I can say to you, Rod, and to everyone here, there's no place right now that I'd rather be than in this room with you. So thank you. This is a truly wonderful day. It's a wonderful day for the University of Texas. It's a wonderful day for the Moody College of Communications. I think mostly it's a wonderful day for the community. So this is the place that I want to be. Because today we dedicate the Michael and Tami Lang Stuttering Institute and celebrate a $3 million gift that will do wonders for the Institute and for the university, and most especially for the community. So, Michael and Tami, thank you, and I'll have more to say about that in a moment. Professor Byrd, thank you for your leadership, and Dean, I want to thank you for your leadership of this college. Well, it is a wonderful day because we're dedicating the Michael and Tami Lang Stuttering Institute. But it's wonderful for what the Institute will do. One thing it'll do is through providing clinical care and the work the faculty and the graduate students do, the undergraduate students, we'll be advancing knowledge and treatments and understanding so that we can make progress and more progress in the future. That's one thing universities like the University of Texas do. But even more than that, it's the people in that clinical care that it will help. People that are incapacitated or afflicted with this condition, and as Dean Hart said, what is more important to the bonding in the human experience than to be able to communicate in those moments when it's necessary, when the oatmeal is lumpy. And those people, many of whom are here, will be helped through this clinical care. We say that what starts here changes the world, and I believe that. I believe that to the bottom of my heart. And this is a prime example of how this university changes the world. And we're also here to celebrate the incredible generosity of two people without whom we would not be in a position to help change the world. So Michael and Tami, you have helped change the world through this very, very generous gift. So I think we should thank you today. And let me amplify that just for a moment. We're here to celebrate. We're here to give congratulations. But the dominant emotion today is gratitude. Gratitude to Tami and Michael. And let me say it again. These words seem so inadequate. Two simple words, but they are what we mean. Everyone in this room and many, many more people who are not with us today. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. And let me thank you for one other thing as well. The example you set. The example you set for us all. The example you set for our students. And that example, through the Michael and Tami Lang Stuttering Institute, will go on forever. And people 25 years from now, people receiving care, people who are on our faculty, people who are our students, will ask, well, I'm affiliated with the Michael and Tami Lang Stuttering Institute. Who were these folks? And we'll make sure that they know. And they will see, by example, how two individual people go out and really do make a positive difference. And so the two of you will forever be woven into the tapestry of this university. Thank you so much. Thank you.
During the past 10 years, I've interviewed around 200 potential faculty members for this college. We've hired about 45 of the 200. None have been quite like Courtney Byrd. She has all the expected degrees: bachelor's degree from LSU, MA from Texas Christian, PhD from Vanderbilt, 2-year postdoc at the National Institutes for Health. She came to our faculty in 2006. Since then, she's done all the other expected things. She's amassed a long list of publications. She's spoken at countless professional conferences, both within the US and abroad. She's overseen student research at the graduate and undergraduate level. She's reviewed for scholarly journals. She's also done some rather unexpected things. She won this college's Teaching Excellence Award in 2009. She won a UT System Regents Teaching Award in 2011. And in 2012, the Texas Excellence Award for Outstanding Teaching. And she's done some totally unexpected things, which is why we're here today. Now, I was having a conversation with a dear friend and the immediate past chair of the Comm Sciences and Disorders Department, Craig Champlin. Some of you know Craig. Craig is a fairly slow talking fellow. So I got to say that at times one tends, when you're talking to Craig, one tends to take kind of micro naps. So I was, I have to admit, I was taking a micro nap, and I heard the phrase, Courtney's Center. I immediately woke up, and I said, what? And Craig said, well, yes, it's a bit unorthodox. Now, this is a great university, but it's also a somewhat bureaucratic university. We have rules and procedures about starting centers, and Courtney had missed 1 or 2 or 1,000 of these rules and procedures. But Courtney Byrd has very little time for bureaucracies. She's got far too much important work to do, too much life-altering work to do. So this is when I really got to know Courtney Byrd. Since then, I've marveled at her dedication, her intensity, her intelligence, her imagination, and her heartfulness. This is a dynamo of a woman. No, she makes dynamos seem dull. You haven't lived until you've heard Courtney Byrd speak. So now you're going to live. I present to you Dr. Courtney Byrd.
Well, you know, I have something planned, but I have to say, when Dean Hart started saying all the quotes, I was like, he's going to say my quote, he's going to say my quote, but luckily he didn't say the one I was going to say. I do want to begin with the quote that I think is really meaningful to today's ceremony for at least 2 reasons. Winston Churchill once said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." You may all recall that Winston Churchill served as England's Prime Minister during World War II, but you may not be aware that he was also a talented artist, a Nobel Prize-winning writer, and someone who's been touted as one of the most gifted speakers in history. Winston Churchill inspired millions with his speeches, and Winston Churchill was a person who stuttered. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. The second reason this quote is meaningful to today's ceremony is that it really reflects the principle that Michael and Tami Lang live by. They understand that when we do all that we can to help others to find purpose and value in their lives, we are able to find that and so much more in our own lives. However, for the Langs to give as generously as they have to us, there had to be an infrastructure in place so that they could be assured that their gift would be used in the way in which they most intended it to be. Therefore, before I speak directly to the significance of the Langs' gift, I have to acknowledge the people who are here today who've made our university, our college, my department, and our Stuttering program a place where giving can be seen as an investment in service to others that really does ensure our university's mission that what starts here changes the world. Thank you, President Powers. It's such an honor to have you here today to share your thoughts regarding the Langs and their extraordinary gift to our Stuttering program. Your genuine commitment to the development of translational research programs across all colleges and departments within our university is highly evident and greatly appreciated. I would also like to thank Dean Hart for the manner in which you have facilitated the innovation and growth of our college. I am fully aware that there would be no possibility for the establishment of a distinct institute for stuttering within the Moody College if not for your support and your vision. And even though he might be a slow talker, he's one of my favorite ones. So I have to say, certain people in life make a difference because they believe in you. So I offer my deepest appreciation to my former chair, Dr. Craig Champlin, whose encouragement and true belief in our efforts for the Stuttering community will never be forgotten. And I thank my present chair, Dr. James Booth, for his immediate support and for his dedication to moving our department forward in new and exciting directions. Our communication sciences and disorders program is ranked among the top 10 in the nation. I feel like this is an opportunity for me to share that with you. I have to say that, the academic and the clinical faculty members who I'm fortunate to work with have made significant contributions to our understanding of speech-language pathology and audiology. I feel inspired and really incredibly fortunate to work among such exceptional clinicians and researchers. I also want to especially thank the faculty members who are here today. I realize that there is so much that goes uncelebrated, and I just thank you for helping me today to honor and celebrate the Langs' gift to our Stuttering program. Among my talented and dedicated colleagues, I have to acknowledge one in particular, Elizabeth Hampton. Elizabeth has managed to work a part-time job as a full-time job with no complaints, no requests for overtime. She's really given all that she can to help me to grow and expand our Stuttering program. Elizabeth is a remarkably gifted clinician, and Elizabeth is a graduate of UT. So Elizabeth personifies what is most outstanding about our university, the quality of our students. The undergraduate and graduate students in the Moody College are nothing short of amazing. I cannot adequately express to you the gratitude I feel for the hope, the knowledge, excitement, and energy that they breathe into our Stuttering program every single day. To the people who stutter, who are here today, the children, the adults, the family members and loved ones, you are the reason for this institute. You're the heart of our program. Without your trust in us, without your willingness to explore the unknown with us, we would not have made the advancements that we have thus far. Finally, over the past year, as we moved toward the establishment of the Lang Stuttering Institute, I've had the opportunity to work with a number of individuals whose dedication to our university is staggering. I sincerely thank the college and university-wide development teams, our web and media team, and I have to thank the exceptional staff in our college and in my department. This university-wide support, along with the recognition of the need to promote awareness and understanding of stuttering, brings me to the significance of Michael and Tami's gift. Stuttering is a communication disorder that is all too often misunderstood. Although there is much left to discover, there have been a few important discoveries that directly negate the most common misperceptions. Contrary to the popular media, stuttering is not a speech behavior that everyone does every once in a while when they're nervous or anxious. Stuttering is not a disorder for which children will outgrow if parents do their best not to call any attention to it. Stuttering is not a psychological disorder, but when stuttering goes untreated or when it's treated by somebody who has not been adequately trained, stuttering can and often does have negative. Just making sure that wasn't my kid. It's not my kid. Let's have to check. Got to go do that real quick. Sorry. It's your moment. I'm sorry. This is an important point, so I just screwed that up. But the truth is, if it's not treated adequately, it's not psychological in nature, but it can have significant emotional, social, and vocational consequences. And unfortunately, despite these consequences, stuttering continues to be the disorder for which most undergraduate and graduate students across the nation report minimal to no clinical or academic exposure. Given this critical lack in training, it is not surprising that the large majority of practicing clinicians report that the disorder for which they feel the least competent is stuttering. What makes me the most grateful for the Lang's gift is the substantial evidence to suggest that the earlier students have the opportunity to engage in experiential learning, the higher the likelihood that they themselves will make meaningful discoveries. Through the generous support of Michael and Tami Lang, our students will be provided with the early academic and clinical exposure needed to feel confident working with persons who stutter, as well as the skills needed to make significant contributions to our field. The Lang's gift will also be used to develop innovative treatment methodologies and training programs. To provide just a few examples, through their generosity, we will be able to develop video games for children who stutter. We will also be able to develop apps to promote transfer and maintenance of treatment gains for clients of all ages. And we'll also be able to develop virtual reality training modules for practicing clinicians. As a growing result, a growing number of persons who stutter and their loved ones will be provided with the assessment and treatment services that are both needed and deserved. In light of the many benefits I've already shared regarding Michael and Tami's gift to us, it's almost unbelievable that I can also share that these evidence-based services will be provided to our clients at no cost. Because of the Lang's generosity, the nearly constant struggle that people who stutter go through to secure a third-party reimbursement will no longer be a roadblock to receipt of best practice. With these considerations in mind, the Michael and Tami Lang Stuttering Institute will serve to further our understanding of the manifestation of stuttering and serve to enhance clinician comfort and competency in working with both children and adults who stutter. I also hope that the persons who participate in our program, the students, the people who stutter, and their loved ones, will be inspired to pursue their dreams, to speak from their hearts with no hesitation, and to live their lives to the fullest. Hence the words, dream, speak, live. Finally, after considerable thought and many sleepless nights, have come to the conclusion that there's really no way I can convey to Michael or Tami Lang the depth of my gratitude for their gift to us. But I do want to say that I am fiercely dedicated to ensuring that their gift grows and gives back to our students and the stuttering community in ways that are beyond the Lang's expectations. I also want to share that every advancement we make on behalf of stuttering, every student we train, every life we touch, will be our way of saying thank you to Michael and Tami Lang over and over and over again. Now, I'd like for you to view a short film, short, 6 minutes, that's all, 5 minutes, 50 seconds, that we made to highlight what this gift will mean to so many. You know, I'm a firm believer that the things that are most special in life you really can't see, you have to feel with your heart, but we tried to capture some of it on film for you. As in life, everything comes full circle. Elizabeth Hampton and I collaborated on this film with Alex Murphy. Alex is a recent RTF graduate who founded his own production company, Golden Arm Media. Alex is also a person who stutters, and he participated in our program when he was a student at UT. Together, we've made our best effort to share with you the mission of the Michael and Tami Lang Stuttering Institute.
Dream.
Speak.
Live.
Dream, speak, live. Knock, knock. Who's there? Carrot. Carrot who? Carrot doesn't have a name in nobody.
When he had a difficult time speaking or would start to stutter, he would get really frustrated, and sometimes that would come out in physical frustration with his sisters. I think that's a big area that we've noticed is just his ability to take that frustration and know what it was, and then to work on it, realize that when he had a problem that he could, there was ability to fix it.
Not only is Miles getting therapy from these wonderful therapists who are only working with children with stuttering, but also we get to watch, and they're training us so that we can then implement those strategies at home.
I'm sure it's 6.
I love the way you said that,
sure
Miles.
it's 6.
Whenever the phone used to ring, my heart would skip a beat because I would think it's someone on the other line about to interview me. Talking with Dr. Byrd helped me to realize that I need to be upfront and confident about the fact that I stutter. I was able to get jobs I never thought I would be able to get being a person who stutters.
You don't understand, like...
After coming here and getting the support and the confidence and the tools and seeing the changes in her, we moved from full protection to full propulsion.
Talking to people is so easy for me. I mean, it's so much fun to communicate.
We know without a doubt that whatever she wants to do, she's going to accomplish it. She's not going to be held back.
The
The clinicians who are running the sessions are also the people who are conducting the research. That's going to help every client that comes in and help the field move forward.
They've been exposed to it, they've been trained, they've been educated. We use our efforts in the lab to inform our practice. And as a result, we have made significant discoveries with respect to our understanding and our treatment of stuttering.
When I was in school, we were taught to just ignore it. And now the Institute has shared so much research with us that that's actually not the case, and that the early intervention is actually very helpful.
That was fast. One of the best things about starting therapy early is that we're instilling in them from a very young age, there should never be fear around talking.
Many complex factors.
And the Stuttering Center has helped me to not let my stuttering get the best of me. When someone asks me a question, I immediately launch into an extremely complicated 10-minute answer.
With no fear. There are people here at this institute that know how to help.
Can you think of the kind of study audience? The summer camp was a really awesome experience. The counselors were there, were amazing. We did everything from magic shows to going bowling. Probably one of the funnest camps I think I've ever been to.
My affiliation with the UT Stuttering program has inspired me not just professionally, but personally. I couldn't speak to one person. Now I speak to a classroom of 100 students. You learn the power of your own voice through the Lang Institute.
It's helped her be more outgoing and extroverted and bold in her life.
I love you, Charlotte.
It's really something that our family couldn't have gone without. And so to think that there was a child like Charlotte who may not have had the services they needed because of the inability to pay is really sad. And I'm amazed and excited that all services will be provided for those that need them for free.
I'm Mommy.
Oh, I love the way you talk, Charlotte. I'm so proud of you.
I love my speech because I can talk to kids and make new friends.
I love my speech because it helps me play.
Because some people say like stuttering's a gift too.
Because it makes me unique.
Because I get to talk and share my imagination.
I love my speech because I get to communicate. Are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. Prairie sky, wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas.
It is our mission that the people who participate in our program, the people who stutter and their loved ones, the students we train on a daily basis to work with people who stutter, are inspired to pursue their dreams, to speak from their heart with no hesitation, and to live their lives to the fullest.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Now I have the honor of introducing Michael and Tami Lang to you. I was reflecting on how I would introduce the Langs. My thoughts traveled to my three boys and how very special they are to me. And I realized that although there are many perspectives I could share with you about the Langs, the perspective of their family is the most precious and also the most telling of just how exceptional they really are. Mike's daughter Alex unfortunately could not be with us today. Instead of reading a more formal introduction, I asked Alex to provide a few words about Mike and Tami that I could share with you. Regarding Mike, Alex shared, "My father is the most generous person I know. It is true generosity. He gives from the heart without any expectations of receiving anything in return. He is the type of man who is as kind to a waiter as he is to the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, probably kinder if the truth be known. I think in many ways, his stutter has made him compassionate to people in society without power, the people who are generally degraded or invisible to many with power. He is a great man in lots of ways, but the things I admire about him the most are what make him a good man." Regarding Tami, Alex shared, "Tami is the best listener I have ever met. She is kind, compassionate, and a truly wonderful caregiver to my father, her children, and grandchildren. She has a hidden strength and determination that make her a force in the world. Tami and I truly became close when I had my children and I saw the way she loved and nurtured them. She has taught me that love transcends blood and is often more powerful." And Alex's final words that she wanted me to share before having Mike and Tami come to the stage were, "We are bursting with pride for Mike and Tami's commitment to stuttering and the stuttering community."
Thank you. I am so proud to be a part of this incredible institution. Our passion for the Institute and the stuttering community is profound and rooted in the deep belief that every person should have a voice and the confidence to use it. Although our initial interest in stuttering began with Michael and his history, I stand here today representing the multiple generations of the Lang family. Our daughter Alexandra, our son-in-law Jordan, and our grandchildren Ezra and Rafaela are equally committed to the work being done here today. As the poet W.B. Yeats said, education is not the filling of the pail, but the lighting of a fire. And our hope is that this institute will be a fire in the world of stuttering. Thank you for honoring us today, and thank you for the work you do every day. Thank you.
You're going to stay, right? You're not going anywhere. If I had any brains, I would say thank you so much and leave right now. But Courtney said that would probably not be an excellent example. In fact, there's two concerns. One, if I stutter. The second concern, which may be worse, if I don't stutter. But one thing I'll be grateful for eternally is after this moment, nobody thanks me anymore, okay? I thank you for thanking me, but now this is a moment of the truth. This is the best deal I ever made. You know, I saw him coming, I'm seeing him going. I'm so happy about it. It's a no-lose deal, win-win-win. I never, in my wildest dreams, until Justin and Mike walked in my house, that I would ever do this. So the first gratitude we owe is to the state of California, whose tax rate makes this a profitable endeavor. Trust me, if I lived in Austin, it would have been hard to see me. But I do, for you all, I think the thing to say in truthfulness is, congratulations, Mike. You proved you can fool all the people some of the time and all the people all the time. You got away with it again. And the dean, the president, Courtney, everybody here made this possible. As far as the treatment, it's anything but free. The students, the people receiving help, have to come here, which I wouldn't have done. They have to work very hard, which I assure you I would not have done. So if anything, we should be paying them. And maybe that'll come true. I have some of my partners in crime and good friends that were kind enough to come in, and this would not have happened without them. My best and oldest friend, Brownie Rice, without him, I wouldn't have known anybody, and I would have just been shy, and et cetera, but you can tell I'm not that shy anymore. Without David Cooperman, I would have never had the chance to do anything. When I came here, I was not exactly the number one rushee. I couldn't say a word, and David put up with me for good and worse and got me into Silver Spurs. And when I came up with the crazy idea that I wanted to be student assemblyman from the School of Business, and everybody was against it, our friend Pete Conway and John Orr were appalled, and they said, Mike Lang. Well, anyway, I got it, I won it, and I got impeached. And I got impeached because I was afraid to go and say my name. But at any rate, so it's real gratitude. Without sitting beside Brownie, without Steve Harder, I'd be broke. He was a great, great godsend of an energetic young man who made things happen. And he drugged me all across the United States against my will, making things happen. And he's, never met a partner or anybody like him. You give him something, whether you want it to happen or not, he's going to make it happen. And as Steve knows, if we had had Courtney Byrd, and I picked up his thinking because it was mine, if we had had her leading one of our road shows to do an IPO, boy, would we have knocked them dead. We'd have had 10, 15 companies in 6 months. And not all of them would have gone broke. But anyway, Courtney, though, outside of everybody here that made it possible, is the star. And if anything, she does not need to thank us. We more than thank her, and she's genuine and thank heaven looks at the world through not rose-colored glasses, but violet, rose, orchid, because when she sees me, she sees somebody that nobody else sees. But she's the best, and you're all are the best, and I thank y'all. And last, because I see his face, and his great wife, and if I was trying to back out of this, Sid would have said, "No, you're not." And Ab, what she said to me on one time when I was in a stock and it was going down, I said, "What are we going to do, Ab?" He said, "Why buy more?" So Ab would look at this and I said, "Well, tell me what you think about $3 million, Ab." He'd say, "Buy more, buy more. It's a great deal." But anyway, last, Rush Moody and his foundation made it possible. All this infrastructure and everything else wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Moody's. And as a side bonus, which is worth everything, my father and grandfather, if they were alive, would be so thrilled to know that we finally got to be in a deal with the Moody family. One, and the Spurs, thank y'all for showing up. And I don't know if they'll sell me an orange shirt. I don't know if we'll do what we'll do with it. But I know Brownie and I have long since lost ours, and we'd be fond of getting a new one, I guess. If you can sell it to us cheap, of course. But just this is it, because I have to pee. But with that, I think this is it, guys. Thanks. You're wonderful. I love you. Don't thank me anymore. Congratulations. Let's go. Thank you.
I must say to Mr. Lang that we really encourage full communication, but not necessarily complete communication. But we have a rousing group here to lead us in a song that is known by some here. And the Spurs have been kind enough to volunteer to perform that function.